That's what you do. You buy these clothes that cost money and make a difference in it. But we never do that.
Never complains, gets up, gets on, with a smile on his face.
They just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, to the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old, same old, same old, every single day, without the truth. If you haven't seen it before, please watch the first two episodes, the second series.
We are on the site of the castle.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
There's always comes around a little picture. But anyway, good evening, everyone. It's one of these shows that we'll be talking about everything. And I mean everything. We'll be talking about an up-and-coming, shall we just say, talks about a ceasefire or whatever in Istanbul on Monday. We'll be talking about this fella as well. We'll be talking about this. So it's got a lot to do tonight, a lot to do with everything. Everything that concerns you, concerns me, concerns your little families and every other family on the planet. You know, people don't realise how bad it is. Honestly, they don't realise. And also, I wish I had a picture of this prat by the name of Andrew Lawrence. Andrew Lawrence telling a joke about, what did he say? He said, I'd drive through crowds to get the fuck out of Liverpool or whatever, something like that. They were his main things. A comedian. And people are trying to defend him. Then you look on the comments and they're shocking. Then it's the famous, always the victim. Not realising that children were hurt. Children, little kids, with the mums and the dads and whoever else. I'll just say hello to all you lovely people. Bear with me, and then we'll get cracking. As I said, you know, try and think about that, okay? Try and think about that. Myra, the lovely Myra, all the way from South Africa, this girl, tunes in. She tunes in. Myra and myself have got the same ideology, actually, and the same outlook, what's going on. We balance things out. Simon, good evening, Franco. I hope you're well. Weather nice, going to be lovely day tomorrow. Are you watching or planning a watch along for the UCL final tomorrow night? Do you know what? I don't know, you know. Who wanna watch along with me? Saturday night, they'll all be in the pub, to be honest, watching it. To be honest, Simon. I've got to say this though, before we, you know, before I digress into something different, about the football and the fantasy football that was won, and it was actually won by my grandson. So I said, okay, and he came down, you know, to pick his prize up. And he said, Granddad, I don't want that. Can he have another one? Because, you know, and I went, another one? He said, yeah, can he have that? So I said, yeah, okay, you can have it. So he hasn't got that. And I don't like this watch because it hurts me. It digs into me. Little risky there. Doesn't have to get horrible. See it red here, see? Where am I? There, it's all red. Anyway, so that's being won. I'm still waiting on the fantasy after tomorrow night. I haven't a clue about it to win the wonderful, hang on, there it is, let me get it. Program. Mo Salah's authentic autograph there. And that's a program for 2019 when we got to the final against Spurs. And Mo scored the first goal, and there's his autograph there. It's a great piece of memorabilia for somebody. You know, I just don't know who's won it. I'm being honest, and if it hasn't won, I did mention that I'm going to put names in. I'm going to even put Maida's name in it, and Toscana, and you know the girls that have actually come on, you know, now and again in the football because they like football, and the Liverpool supporters, and putting their names in, being one of my caps. Honestly, every name is going in, and I'm going to pick it out live coming up. And there's the winner. Open it up, and they'll win the program. Bit of memorabilia. That's the only way I can do it. Really. Hi guys, hope you're all well. Hope you're all doing well, says Simon. Thank you, Simon. I think we are. Edward. Big up, Frank. Thank you, Edward. Thank you. Evening, Frankie, says the mince pie man himself. Do you know what, Tony? I was out shopping today with my daughter Francie. She took me shopping. And I never seen any mince pies, by the way. So anyway, I picked up an apple charlotte. You know, one of these apple charlottes. And I said to Francie, I said, do you want one? She said, no, Dad. So I said, okay. So anyway, I picked up this apple charlotte. And I was having a cup of tea, you know, this afternoon. And I said, I might as well have that. And it reminded me going back to when I was, how old was I? 14, I think. And I was in my grandmother's. And she said, I'm going shopping, she says, and I'll bring you a nice apple charlotte back. Never forget it. So anyway, she came back with the apple charlotte. She said, we'll have a cup of tea later. I said, okay. And the next, my uncle comes in. And he just eats it. And he was made it. You know, my grandmother went, he'd just come home from work. And she said, now you go out and you buy Francis, an apple charlotte. And he gave me a terrible look. So anyway, he had to go out and bring back an apple charlotte. And I brought back a great memory, great memory. And my uncle was always going on about that, for years. He's past it now. No, he's passed on. Anyway, Christopher, hi Frank and everyone. Frimpong signs, more to come. Yeah. Yeah. So right. You're so right. Oh, and I thought they were mince pies there. So I had them out the cups of coffee. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Myra's letting on to her. They're letting on to everyone. Even Tony's letting on to Myra. Myra's, don't forget, she's tuning in from South Africa. Lovely lady. Even Lee Argent, Myra, isn't that lovely? Here's our brother, our Man United fan. Great lad, this fella. Great lad. I don't want any bantering with him, albeit that he can see. Johan. Good evening, Frank, and legends in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. Isn't that lovely? Even there, Tony, let's on to Dino O'Brien. Something stinks about this, Paul Doyle. If you want conspiracy, then this parade incident is dodgy. As I've got to say I don't swear. You all know that I don't swear. But he does, Dino O'Brien, and he says, it's dodgy as fuck. And something nefarious is going. I'll have to put me. Did I bring my glasses in? I thought I brought me reading glasses. I haven't got them. Anyway, I'll have to squint my eyes. Is going. Something nefarious is going on, in my opinion. Ex-military, family, all ex-military, grew up on military bases. Oh, and he works in the cyber security. Well, that's why you had snipers on roofs. Think about that. Think about that. We'll do a special program on them, to be honest. And as it says, there's been sightings of UFOs by American Air Force pilots and normal pilots. Be going into that, to be honest. I've got a cracking photograph to show you later on. And I mean a cracking photograph. Gary Rigby. Frank, I've spent hours on YouTube arguing with idiots and defending Liverpool. I don't know why. Gary, they're a waste of time. Always the victim. And I was looking at that Tom Wooten this morning. To tell you. So, because in the background he had about the incident the other day on Monday, and he condoned that fella, that Andrew Lawrence. He condoned him. He said it's only a joke. This same fella, Wooten, wrote for the Sun. So you know what the score is. He condoned him, and he had two other plats on with him, a fella and a female. And they said, and the fella actually said, I've never heard of him until this has been highlighted, and I'll go and see him. He's very funny. But what he said, but without getting the fuck out of here, I'll get the fuck out of here with him saying that. I'd drive through to get the fuck out of Liverpool. What he said, I've been asked to apologise to the people of Liverpool. I don't know if anyone's seen it. Please let me know if you've seen it. And he said, yeah, I'll apologise, I'll apologise. You know that condescending fucking tone. He said, now I've apologised, now you can go and live off your benefits. That's discrimination against every single citizen in Liverpool. And people are not fucking cotton onto this. Damn. And he was laughing, oh yeah. Fucking terrible it is. Nothing about the danger he caused. Nothing about that. Then I was looked on this fucking Facebook thing. And what I seen, you know, the lad who killed those beautiful girls in Southport. The little girls at a little dance thing, learning to dance. And that prat goes in and fucking stabs it. One of the girls, don't know whether you're aware of this, was stabbed 85 times. So you can imagine the fucking frenzy. So he has a picture up of him. And this is why I went mad. You can imagine me, I went absolutely crazy because what is that? This is on fucking Facebook, by the way. And it's the picture of the, you know, the lads who was, you know, when he was shown like that, walking a ball like that. And then the picture of this prick here. And he was saying, look, see the way they've got the lads, you know, the lads who, it's the Southport lads. Fucking hell, I couldn't fucking believe it, what they were saying. Well, what were they trying to fucking say? It's wrong, you know, putting the picture up. Yeah, they've got a picture of him like this. It fucking sickened me. Sickened me. Thing is, this prat here didn't kill anyone. Nearly. But he didn't. He didn't get out of his car with a knife and start fucking stabbing people. That other fucking prat. Remember the choir boy when they first put him up? And you see him standing there. I'll most probably get into fucking trouble over this. And he's standing there but next to a teacher. The teacher's got his and it said a choir boy from Cardiff. All innocent and everything. They're the images that the media put up. But you've got to come up to your own conclusions. But I went berserk over it. Never said anything. I wanted to. And it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong about this fella. But, you know, they did keep it under wraps. And, about, you know, his picture and whatever. Because then they had to come out and show him who he was because he was in court, name and address, everything. That was all came out about him. Will they get to the full investigation? I don't know. Will he? The investigation's ongoing. I disagree with the charges, the first and foremost. This is just my opinion. It was attempted murder. He was trying to get away. And if you're running over anybody, you're hitting them. It's attempted murder. He was using it as a weapon. He was using it as a weapon, like a knife, like a gun. using it as a weapon to get away, and deliberately driving into the crowds. You see it on TV, you see it on footage. But let's say, instead of jumping to speculation, you only look at what you're seeing and you can comment. Let the investigation carry on and see what other charges are brought against them. Paul Doyle. Paul Desmond Doyle. And anyone with a name like Desmond deserves 5 years in jail, hard labour. What's he naming his son Desmond? Edward says, I've seen that comedian had gigs cancelled. Yeah, but he's getting more gigs now, isn't he? Because people in Liverpool, as you know, are hated. You only got to see the jealousy of Liverpool winning the league. So, he's great. I'm sure we hire him. Wonder if he could come up here. I'll tell you what it reminded me of. And I went off this fella as soon as he said it. Another comedian. Another comedian. And it was during the ISIS thing, when people were having their heads chopped off. Do you ever remember the Liverpool fella, Ken Bigley? And they were wanting money. He was held as a hostage because this is what they want. These terrorists, they want some money and set them free. Whoever it was, and Ken Bigley was one of them. And he has all, and he wanted so much money. And he went, no, we don't deal with terrorists. We don't deal. And this fella came out and well, I wish they cut his head off so that we can all carry on, with our lives and comedy. And can anybody remember who said that? Because I went like that. Well, fuck you. Trying to make that was a fucking joke, but he meant it as well. Hurry up and cut his head off. Can anybody recall that and who it was? I will let you know if you don't. Gary says, someone said to me, where's your famous Scouse humour? All right, so we all have be humorous about this. Yeah, we've got to have a the Argent. Hey, Scouse Kenny here. Who's Scouse Kenny? I don't know. Oh, Toscana. So Franco and everyone. Hope you're all well. Andrew Lawrence is having his gigs cancelled. Always the victims does my head in. This is it. So someone, and someone said, and it was a comedian who said it, by the way. I think it was on a Question Time this fella was on. And he said, well, they always play the victims, don't they? That was it. Look, another comedian. Try and get that damn written up and about this fucking fella and what he said. It's only a joke. He condoned a joke. He condoned it while everything was still raw. And some of the press, in the comments were saying, well, I suppose you'd be saying about Manchester and what the fuck has that got to do with Manchester and London and Bristol? It's I didn't want to carry on. Not only was the joke in poor taste, it was very obvious. And yeah, it was generic. It was. And could apply to any city. Yes. Now, fancy, say it was Manchester and we was all scared, and someone says, and I said, where's your mank humour? Where is it? That's in bad taste as well. Forgetting about these victims. I'm my old mate Jeff. Hiya Jeff. Good evening, Frank. Hiya Jeff. Isn't it odd? So much information about this guy Doyle seems to be leaked to the Daily Mail. Also, why are some of the offences not being brought forward? Charges as yet very iffy. Yep. But as I said, Simon, we have to wait until everything is sorted. See what's coming out is like they're picking on the family, his family. Slickback Simon's on. Hello, says Callum. Slickback Simon. Good evening, Frank. Hope you're well, says Paul Burke, my old mate. Thank you, Paul. Yes, I'm okay. Gary says, I know you don't like Jim Davidson, Frank, but yeah, I know I've seen it. I seen your name. You put a comments up. Didn't you? That's right. I've seen it. I put a comments up. And I've seen your comments. Thanking them. Am I right? Oh, that's a cracker, that. Keith Reedy. Did you see Man United's parade video in Asia? That was shocking, that. Wasn't it? I've seen that Mark Goldridge. That was so funny. He's good, him, though, that fella, Mark Goldridge. Whether you like him or not, I think he's good. I'm not picking my nose, honestly. I've got this bloody itch back. Oh, June Ely. Ah, how you June? Hi, Frank. Happy memories. Are you enjoying? Ah, hope you're keeping well. Oh, June. June was one of my students, believe it or not. Mature student. And she told me so significant, something so significant. I went, and it resonated with me forevermore. And she went on a cruise, South America. She went down there. I think she went through the Panama Canal, and she got to Brazil, and she went to a place called Maltas. And she said, do you know what, Frank? They've got a big plaque up there saying about their landing stage, that its design was copied from the landing stage in Liverpool, England. And it was June who told me that. There and her husband, no longer with us, unfortunately. And she told me that, lovely June. June Healy. Wow, June, lovely, lovely to see you. Honestly. Really, really is. The Mulder poster, so cool. Wait till you see what I've got. Wait till you see. Simon says, Mystic Simon's predictions on Vert, Kerkers and Frimpong coming to fruition. Keep reading. Then Andrew Lawrence doubled down today and joked that people had thrown themselves in front of the car for disability benefits. That was today. That's what he said. But this is the other day when he went, yeah, very condescending, saying about, the apologies, because someone said you have to apologize. Yeah, I will apologize. Sorry. Now you can go back and enjoy your benefits. That's what he said. Lee Argent at my store. I guess now you know why I swear a lot in the chat. It's Scouse. She gets you. She gets you. Johan. Frank, that Lawrence guy's recent tweets are absolutely vile. This is not comedy. This is grifter clinging onto his 5 minutes of fame, doubling down. Absolute clown. Thing is, he should be brought up. That's discrimination against the city, though. If you know the law, if you know anything about discrimination. Now, if it'll be, if he was saying this, say to another ethnic minority, for example, not naming them, but another ethnic minority, he'd be brought up for racism. He should be brought up for discrimination. Yeah. It's discrimination against a city and the citizens, like in benefits and all this. This is what I mean. We get called bin dippers. Come on. Come on. You know, for people who haven't seen, I'm doing something this year. It's in the process right now. But if you look, I'm in a documentary, and you get it on YouTube. It's called Scouse Not English. Why is Liverpool so different from the rest of the country? Watch it from the beginning, and you see Liverpool how it is. My city, your city. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thanks for that, Johan. Why are the papers making out he's a normal family man, making excuses for him? Is this there for him? It's the way it is. It's the way it is, Gary. And Simon says, at today. I am so angry at the lack of accountability, the government, the police, and the local so-called leaders. Where is the chief constable? So many open questions. Why is the media allowed to leak certain things? Lee Brady. ILA. Second and Frank. Did you say he stabbed what? Yes. Wow. That would have given anybody the level of anger to the. Of course, it was a frenzied. It's more than a frenzied attack. Just evil, Frank. Plain and simple evil. People like that should get a death penalty. Someone mentioned that, and I said, they put us in categories. Anyone who kills a child, death penalty. Anyone who kills a policeman, death penalty. I said, you can't have that. I said, every human life is precious. If you take a human life, you should be punished the same, no matter who it is. Whether it's a little child, whether it's an adult, whether, and certain professions don't come into it. A human being and a human being's life taken away by a fellow human being should be punished the same, no matter who it is. The only death penalty in this country, believe it or not, is for regicide. Killing of a king. You could be tried for that. And if you're found guilty, you go to the gallows. You mentioning apple Charlotte, then made me remember I've got an apple crumble in the freezer, being out to get custard. Nice one, Frank. Oh, fantastic. See how we are. We've got the humour under tragic circumstances. Deb. Hi, Frank. Hi, everyone. Hello, Deb. Have I seen you before? No? Got a few cousins named Deb. You're not one of my cousins, are you? The audience. Iraq. Iraq. Based on lies, that. And 1 million Iraqis died. Think about that, please. Gary Rigby. I can't even defend my own city. It just makes it worse. Someone told me to put my head in the fucking hell. In a noose. He said, best move for Scousers. Jesus Christ. Now, why isn't he pulled up for hate speech? That's a hate. That's hate. See, nothing gets done. Nothing. See, we fought for years, the establishment. I refused a gun. And so I said, I don't fucking want one. Don't put me in for one. Some OBA, MBA, CBA, whatever the fucking was. I said, don't you dare. I don't want to be sitting at the table with them. So Billy Connolly, I take yes, Tony, Gary Rigby, yeah, Billy Connolly, Paul Bear, Billy Connolly, Cesar Deb, yep, Billy Connolly, yes, I said, no, Billy Connolly said that, says Edward. Yeah, he said it. Fucking terrible. Nothing was said. They all laughed. I went, hi, yellow. Prick. I'm from Kenny, Frank. Kenny. Oh, yeah. I gave a talk up there in Kensington. It was where the Beatles made the very first recording. You know, the Quarrymen. Me and Billy Butler. Oh, blimey, it was shocking. Kenny, he had to stop the traffic. There's all these Americans. And Julia Lennon. Julia Lennon. Oh, yeah, okay. Fucking Lennon, Julia. You know, whopper there. I had a DVD, and you know, someone said, well, "Will you bring them up and sell them?" I said, "Yes." I said to Tony Snell, "I'll go and sell these, you know, up there if anyone wants it." Yeah, okay, I'll talk with you. And she went like that to me, Julia. "Can I have one of them?" And I went, "Yeah, sure." I said, "Do us a favour, Julia, give us that." It was a cracking picture, you know, of John. And it was, you know, I'm not saying he was like that to the camera or anything. It was just taken. You had someone, you know, talking. Cracking picture. I said, "Can I have that?" She went, "Yeah, for a £5." I said, "Oh, fuck off, and you're not getting the DVD either." Honestly, fucking selling pictures for £5. I was going to give it a DVD. Gary. Right, Frank, I'll have to have a look for your comments. Yeah, honestly, I'm there. And you can get back to me, you know, another time. I just thanked him like yourself, to be honest. The Red Bears, here I am. Hope you're all well, Frankie Black. Yes. Okay. I think my voice is going, you know. Red Bear. Don't forget to like, good people. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I never ask, you know. I'm sure that I had a pod the other night, and there was 800 and odd, you know, views. And even Jason said, "You should have well more than what you've got, well more." But YouTube keeps pulling things away, so you won't reach your target for some reason. The way it goes. Because I knew that I think I had like 30 odd to get, and now it's 50. You know what I mean. Simon says, what's that? I can see Trump 2 materialising in this country through Mr. Farrow, who just putting it out there. You can see Starmer is rattled. Look at the way the media treated him yesterday, just putting it out there. Look, Starmer, Macron, mates. Now you might think Starmer, you know, he is a fucking clown. Like, that's just my opinion, a lot of other people's opinion. And he's trying to act a tough guy and whatever. I don't know fucking why, because he's not tough. You've got Macron, who got a nice slap off his wife, and they're trying to underplay that. And he has a lip reader. She calls him a loser. A lip reader was on. He got it. What she said. And that was, she said something about, "Get away from me, loser." She calls him a loser. Macron. The most dangerous man out of the three of them that are going over there is Merz, the new German Chancellor. And the German people fucking hate him. And yet the way it worked about that he got in with a coalition and he's wanting a war. Out of it, we became on the precipice of World War III last year with Biden. It's not that wide. It's not that wide. It's closing with this fella Merz. He wants to send in long-range missiles into Russia, to Moscow. He said it. He's come out and said it. Now, to send them in, you have to have German technology. German tech, because he's given the missiles to Zelensky. So, and he's been warned. He's been warned. It wasn't Medvedev who said this. Or was it? He said, well, what was said was, if you do that, Berlin will be rubble. It'll be a car park. That's what was said. It'll be a car park. If you dare send any missiles into Russia. So you see, you've got Trump taking notice of one of the biggest fucking arseholes, Kellogg. He's supposed to be a mediator. No, Kellogg, that is. A mediator. And the biasness for Ukraine is incredible. Incredible. He's a neocon. He wants to destroy Russia, yet he's supposed to be like a mediator, a negotiator. Because Trump got rid of Witkoff, who brought peace more or less to like Iran, strong negotiations. Because the neocons behind Trump didn't like what Witkoff was saying about Russia. Because he said you've got to open up negotiations, stop these sanctions against them, and let's trade. People don't realize this. I'm going to surprise you. When you get up in the morning, or even tonight, having your little supper, whatever, or if you go out and go to the Chinese or Italian or whatever, and have something to eat, where's your food coming from? When you get up in the morning, you have your egg on toast. Where's it coming from? It's coming from Russia. Russia's feeding the world. Russia keeps the world spinning, turning. They have a special oil, and anyone with a diesel car wouldn't be able to move it without the Russian oil, because it's the only one that mixes to make diesel. So whether you know that. Russia is the bread basket of the earth. America is still trading with them. They have to. They have to. And this is what it's all about. And there's Lindsey Graham. I know you might know who he is. Myra knows him. I used to have a dog. Used to once upon a time, and I'll put it this way: if he still has him now, think about this. If I still have my dog now, I call him Lindsay. You see what I mean? See what I mean? People have to be careful what they say. I don't trust the police, mate, says Dino. All the high-ups, including Jerry Sims, are Freemasons. And the police insignia and regalia are full of Masonic imagery and symbolism. I gave a couple of talks along Grove Street, you know that one there, Masons. And he said, yeah, sit in the chair. So I sat in it, just sat in it. 2 luncheons they were. And they were dying for me to join the Masons. I said, no. Nah. Why? I said, no. No fella. Don't want to join. Fellas, not fella. Fellas, don't want to join us. I know a couple of people who were Masons, by the way. Yes, a while back on YouTube. Deb, what? Is that to me or someone? I don't know. Yes, a while back on YouTube. Callum says, Nigel, don't want him. He's a former Tory. You say, what is going on about? Have I missed out on things? I don't know. Do you know? Remember when they made that say me swearing not Frank, thank you. Oh, that was one of the worst things. He came. He was. I always remember Frank Prendergast at the time when he was appointed. He was sitting there, and there was a vote whether to make him Chief Constable of Merseyside. And there was a woman named Gustafson. She's no longer with us, and she voted him in. And Frank got up and walked out in total disgust. He says he should have, because he told lies on his application form that he wasn't at Hillsborough. And he was. And he was put there to keep his eyes on the campaigners. Merseyside. A liar. Chief Constable. Worst thing now. Absolute smack in the face of all the victims, families and survivors. I don't trust anything that comes out of the higher echelons of the Crown on policy enforcing foot soldiers. Well, I'm a survivor. Frank, I mentioned, says Simon, the other night, there needs to be a hate law brought in which should make it a crime and custodial sentence. Enough is enough. It's a hate crime and it has to stop. No more excuses. You can go to jail for discrimination, and we get discriminated against every day. When you get the fans from other parts of the country coming in and going, bin zippers, you know, murderers. All the hate chants against us. That's discrimination. I said to the Senate, I don't know whether I did or not, I'm not sure, but I'm sure I sent an email to Liverpool Football Club. I said, have you ever thought? I said, it's hurting us, this. Every fucking home game, and we're getting all these chants. It hurts us. And more or less, you're allowing this. I said, fucking ban them. Ban every away fan from coming into our ground. Teach them a lesson. Never got a reply like if it did send it. I'm not quite too sure whether it did. Toscana. Years ago, I took her friends over to Liverpool. She said, MS. I said, as a funeral, everyone was at her funeral was talking about a trip to your great city. She always spoke about how much she loved the place and the people. Isn't that lovely? Thank you, Toscana. Thank you. I'm so sorry about you, dear friend. I'm going right down now. Get up to date because I really need to talk about other things. Gary says, I think Connolly would have said that about him no matter where he was from, though, as I've seen him saying he loves Liverpool and how much it reminds him. Excuse me. Yes. I'll guarantee you now that I worked away once during the summer break as a barman in Torquay, in the biggest hotel. I said, can you I said, yeah, I can have 5 pints, mate. And they put me in a cocktail. I've never pulled a pint in my life. Didn't know what a cocktail was. And I thought when I got a float every day, that was mine. Let's go to clubs and everything. Anyway, he dispensed with me after a week. And I always remember this old barman, Glaswegian. He said, you remind me so much of my home. I said, what do you mean? He said, Glasgow. You're so much like Glaswegians. Beautiful. So you're right there, Gary. A lovely story, Toscana. It was. Toscana says, you should all be proud of coming from such a friendly city. Wish I could say I was a Scouser. You're an adopted one. You've become an adopted Scouser. And they'll all say it on here. Toscana. My Scouse friend calls me an honorary Liverpoolian. But there you go. I didn't see that until I just read it. We'll adopt you. You're an adopted Scouser. Like many other people, like Kenny Dalglish. An adopted Scouser. I always remember Jan Mulby saying to me, am I an adopted Scouser now, Frank? I said, yeah. I said, you're more than an adopted Scouser. You've got a Scouse accent. As you do. Storm a plant of the establishment, says Paul Beck. There's something going on, though. There really is. You know, we had all this going back to the 80s and the managed decline by Geoffrey Howe and Katya. Geoffrey Howe. Remember him? Listen, I've got to go and get my glasses. I'm awfully sorry. I'm straining my eyes. Is that all right? I really thought that I brought them in. I'll be less than a minute. I'll have to rob a loaf there. Okay. Be back. Un momento. Prego. Would you believe it? I can't find them. Sure, I brought them in, in here. And I asked them, not there. Don't know where they are. Being where I normally sit. Put things down, I don't know where to put them. Checking that too. Says Lee. Toscana. I'll call you the adopted Scotia, says Gary Rigby. I love anyone who loves Liverpool and hasn't been brainwashed by the British media to hate the city. Try and watch that Tom Wooten, what he was saying about that fucking fella. Starmer and Macaron, says Simon. Got a lot of rumours about similar skeletons in the wardrobe. He is an odd character. He was having an affair with his wife when he was a very young, very dodgy character. Yep. They all are, to be honest. Excuse me. Deb says, me too, Gary. Love people who see through all the crap. Well done, Deb. You're on the right channel. You're on the right channel. Deb, only the people who know Liverpool know the truth. That's a cracking comment. Simon. Why isn't Putin seizing the initiative with Trump and calling Zelensky's bluff and having a summit? Russia has made more than 883 billion in revenue from fossil fuel exports since the war. Every sanction's backfired. People don't realise. I went shopping today and I got the shock of my life when I paid the bill. And I only live on my own. And I got me bill in. When it comes through, like, oh, fuck. Paid it. I always pay me debts. And anyway, I paid it. But the prices are going sky high. And so is the electricity, the gas and whatever. Because Europe sanctioned Russia. America blew up the Nord Stream pipeline 2 years ago. They blew it up. And Germany is suffering. Their industries collapsed. And this is what you don't hear. Now you've got this mate who wants to fucking start a war. Says, Mate's dad was a SS officer. Von der Leyen's granddad. And she's just been awarded something fucking, a merit, whatever it was. She's a fucking lunatic. And that Kaya Kallas. Zelensky won the award, the same award, some European award 2 years ago. Shows you, doesn't it? But I'm telling you now, Trump can stop all this. And I was made up that Russia turned around and went, no, we're not going to the Vatican for, a summit. We're going to Istanbul. He's playing the shots, Putin. These people don't realise that. They said, what about Geneva? Fuck off. These are all European fucking NATO countries. And the Pope, what's the Pope? Come on. Come on. I'm a Roman Catholic. And when that white smoke goes up, and it was American, I went, this is political. This is political. An American Pope. And he's fucking praying for the Ukrainians. This Pope. What about the Russians? What about all the fucking missiles being sent to Moscow? What you don't hear about? And hitting targets, civilian targets. Like big high rises. What about all the drones sent to Kursk? To Putin's helicopter while he was coming in. Did you hear about that? That's all fucking kept quiet, isn't it? Whose intel are they getting? These Ukrainians, believe you me. Anyway, they haven't got the intelligence. They haven't got the intel to send these wherever they're going. They didn't know anything about fucking Putin coming in. The Americans do, because they've got all the intel. They've got all the satellites. They need it guiding. So it's America's fucking sending them. And the British. MI6. But you don't hear about that. And Trump trying to dictate. And Zelensky's lost 1.3 million soldiers. And people that, no, they haven't. They've only lost 60,000. What fucking Zelensky saying? I don't know why he's saying that. Why do you think he wants money, 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 arms, 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 money, money, arms, arms? Why does it? Where are they all? That they fucking piled into the Ukraine. Where are they? They're all fucking blown up. And yet you can still get assholes in this country. And America's saying that they're winning the world, like that fucking Kellogg. Kellogg? What an arsehole he is. And unfortunately, Trump's fucking buying us all. And I'm not sure. It's not ex-students of mine. Hey, Alan. Certain people are jealous because of your popularity and honesty, so they have a vindictive streak to destroy the enjoyment of the majority of listeners. Hello. Thank you, Alan. I used to give me a lift home, you know. Do you know when I had my license revoked? He used to give me a lift home. He said, come on, you know. He used to come in and have a cup of tea. He used to get off. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Alan. Good to see you. Good to see everything's okay. And to tell you what, you know, onto football, His daughter is, I don't know whether she's married to him now, a Dortmund supporter, living in Germany. And when we signed Klopp, he said, "You've got to watch him." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because he gets used to players." He said, "And he won't drop them. And they become past the sell-by date." He said, and that's his downfall. He becomes too friendly. Look what happens. The likes of Milner, Henderson, and the rest of them. Nearly destroyed his legacy. So he's spot on there. Keith Reedy. The police have enough to do than police Twitter. My solution is to take the companies. Start to make the companies liable. Twitter and Facebook, etc., for hate speech. Big fines. That will clean up overnight. Good shout, but will it work? The Anfield Road. Even in good champions, Anfield. Lovely. Glazzies are all letting on, you know. Toscana, says the Red Bird. If you're a Red, you're family. Absolutely. Call her a ragazza. It's not a fratello. It's a sister. She's a ragazza. A girl. I'm good, thanks. Hope you're well. I know last week you disgraced. I know last week you just disagreed. I'm sorry, disagreed. But I sense the Russians are wary of Trump. Yeah. He's a flip flopper. He gets sold in one ear and goes, "Oh yeah, I think you like that," and goes like this. And then gets sold in the other ear, and he goes, oh yeah. So the only real leader today who is so open, and I don't like this fella. I've never trusted him, but he's so open about it because he plays one against the other all the time, and that's Erdogan, the Turkish president. Now, someone said to me, "Well, why doesn't Russia, go fuck you and go away from them?" I said, because he's got everything to the Black Sea. And he's stopping the Americans and everyone else from going in. Erdogan, he's got everybody linked. Clever man, but a dangerous man. I remember when Putin and they caught these Azovs, these Nazis, and he said to Erdogan, "Hey, listen, do me a favour, keep hold of them." Erdogan said, "Okay," and fucking let them out. Set them free a year later. But all this prisoner exchange, the power, I've seen, nothing comes in that there was loads of civilians that was set free by the Ukrainians. That's against the law. That's against international law to take civilians as hostage. As a bargaining tool. It's against the law, the civilians. And does that anything ever gets mentioned about that? No, nothing gets mentioned what's happening with Russia. It's the only country in this conflict, never mind and the fucking West as well. It's the only country out of the fucking lot of them who has free speech. You've got the BBC there in Moscow, CNN, everybody, they're all there. Is there any fucking Russian reporters in London, in Washington, in Paris? No, none. None whatsoever. They're banned through this fucking von der Leyen, who's just being awarded this fucking thing. By herself, by the way. It's the European Union, the EU, the unelected bureaucrats they are. And they're giving each other awards. And another thing, I know. Sorry there, Simon. I know. I know last week, yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot all about this thing. I know last week you disagreed, but I sense the Russians are wary of Trump getting in with the Saudis and Qatar. Oil is key, and Putin knows too well he is reliant on the oil price. Thing is, he isn't. I know that. If they go down, so does every economy. Every economy, he can ride it. Russia can ride it. They found a way to ride. And Russia has loads of oil. As I said, he can stop like that every fucking car that's a diesel car. Diesel engines. And I'm talking about railway. He can stop the fucking world. It's incredible what he can do. And people are not getting it, these fucking thick Western leaders. Thick they are. You've got Starmer wanting to go into the Black Sea with his fucking aircraft carriers with no planes on. Well, what's that all about? If you try to get there, it'll sink because there's big leaks in one of them. It's taken 15 years to try and fix, and they still haven't fixed it. One of the aircraft carriers, Johan, to the outfield. Even in Legend, Champions of Hong Kong, you'll never sing that. Champions of Hong Kong. Yeah, got beaten. You just get beat. Anyway, Dino says, Toscana, we are pleased to present you with an honorary scholarship, granting you the status of a citizen of the People's Republic of Liverpool. Yeah. Now I want you to adopt Myra page 2. You bear an honorary scholarship. And the outfield said, I've heard the tour started out poorly, but now you've got the grips with the lingo. Your team is finally understanding Amarim. Yeah, it's on it. My page, you are now an honorary scholarship. Yeah. She's made up. That lovely. And Johan to the anthem. Which club does an end of season tour halfway across the world for the cash? You know, this tour is just hurting us. There you go. Simon. Franco, totally agree. They do it in Italy and Spain. Our politicians need to have some backbone, Someone gets 31 months for putting something on Twitter, but our MPs should be doing more to stop this. Yes. The Anfield to Myra. You all right? Hope you're well. Myra's back. I'm okay. That's enough. She's okay as our Myra. Dino. Starmer and Macron. Oh, Brigitte Macron is a tranny. There's a girl named Candace Owens, some American. What are they heard about it? Brigitte. The Anfield, Johan. 4 million reasons why, lads. Chelsea and City gonna feel this club World Cup, I hope. The Anfield. Apparently Real Madrid, Florentino Perez has paid Frankie 1 million to do another year's football plot. And Liverpool transfer window. The Real Madrid are the generous lot, aren't they? And here's the boss. Best wishes, FC and all. People naive, expecting a fair investigation to government, police, policies, were at the core of Hillsborough Heysel, and it seems also Monday, but blame will always be deflected to us. That's the way it is. We expected some sort of backlash by people, the ordinary people, that is. And Johan to the Anfield. You know what at the club did? You know what the club did? You know, this is Man United, by the way. They showed the program, they showed the pre-game lineups, walkout, and the game for 1 minute free, and then said, all right, pay 30 quid for the game. Go away on that United TV. That you're right there, parasites. That's shocking, that. That's why you have these, like, links, link into mine, and they link in, and then they show you in a couple of minutes, and you're like, that, oh, great, then they want money. And United are doing the same to their own fans. Shocking. People and the truth will be covered up again, as no one else in the mainstream nor social media has the balls to take on the sharks or their puppets in you. You're not Chris, are you? Don't. This is what my voice sounds like. Talk just like this guy. I talk just like this guy. Johan from the Anfield. You're joking. What has happened to the United? This Ratcliffe is a nightmare. You want the Glazers to buy him out soon. Right there. Yeah, right. And the Anfield. Frankie, lad, that Zelensky never has a bad word to say about you, lad. Zelensky said, what's Frankie's problem? It's like he thinks I'm a thief. That's why he's got so many mansions and cars and lovely jewellery for his wife. She goes shopping, does she, to Paris? Right over. Where are you going? Oh, Valence, I'm going over to Paris, to buy some stuff. Would you like a nice watch? Or a fucking suit? You want a suit, and a pair of shoes, and a tie? You scruffy meth. That's the Zelensky. Look, I'll have to get right down here, boys. I'm sorry. Franco, prices are out of control in the shops, even though the oil price has dropped. Labour is obsessed with the EU and Starmer can't give them enough. We find billions when it suits, but it's so suitable. Well, they've taken away from the pensioners, haven't they? They've done everything to pay billions to Zelensky. A fucking corrupt, Nazified country. Nazis, full of Nazis, yeah. The Azovs. The Azovs. You don't hear about them in this country. And that prick, what's his name? Boris Johnson invited them over. It was only last year or the year before, and they were holding up the fucking flag. Fucking Nazi broken symbol, the swastika symbol. I'm going on to my next thing after this. Exactly 9:30. Okay. This is not 9:30, 8:30. And they says, Anfield, you in Anfield, lad? I used to live in Lother Road. Frank, that's why Trump has been asking the question, says Simon. I think he is fighting against the establishment, war machine perhaps. That's why during the election they wanted another JFK incident but failed. Yeah, but nothing comes out about the assassination plot by Ukraine. You'd have to say Ukraine, but I think it was the CIA, the intel on Putin. Nothing about assassinations in Russia by this by the Ukrainians. There's nothing, is there, in the Western press about it? Snides. They blew up a girl named Gina Dugan. A girl, young reporter, 20 odd, blew her up, the car. Nothing said about that in this country. But if it would have been someone in fucking Kiev, they would have been, he's a murderer, a murderer. Nothing. But if there was the Azov battalion in the Russian army and none in the Kiev regime, they'd be all over it. Nothing said. Nothing. My dad fought them. Second World War. My old doctor, he's well dead now, him. He was actually captured. I'll be talking about him on my history show. But he was captured by the Germans and he escaped. This is in Italy. He was a doctor. And he escaped from it was comical because he was captured, put in a prisoner of war camp in Italy. And the Italians didn't like the Germans, and I'm not talking about the fascists. These were ordinary Italian soldiers, and he escaped. He fucking let him go. Go up, get up to the Appalachian, the Apennine, and Apennines, and you'll see the partisans there. And he went in there, and he was helping the partisans. He was looking after them. He was delivering babies in these little villages. He was treating the wounded. More story about him on the history show. This great man, my doctor when I was a kid, from a baby till like I was going to school. And tell you more about him. Johan to the Anfield. If I was a United, I know, Johan, I just want to get right down, and I'm sorry, honestly. The Anfield. All right, lads, I was originally from Princess Road, and now I've moved to Stanley Dock. Gone all posh, only because she wanted. Oh, that's nice, that Anfield. Stanley Dock. Brilliant there. I can see where you're living from my home. You didn't know that, did you? From my Juliet balcony. Tuscany. Oh, thank you, Dino. I feel so proud. Absolutely love the place. See our adopted Scousers. Totally agree, Erdogan, says Simon. I watched a 3-part series about how he rules Turkey with an iron fist. When that recent rebellion by elements of the army he crushed in 48 hours. Erdogan is a smart guy. He was actually flying to a meeting, conference somewhere, to another country. And he was getting it through. Fucking hell, there's a queue. And he went, turn that plane. And did you know that he actually, do you know when they were reporters on the television? That you do. All those people who was reporting, on television, and ordinary reporters and journalists and whatever, still in fucking jail. He imprisoned them all. Erdogan. Toscana, what I say, it's not a lad, it's a female. Should have said, buonasera ragazzo. Who saw Macron get a right-hander from his husband? Yeah, talking about that before, Anfield. Here, cough at you. And I was saying about there was lip reading experts, and everyone came out of them with the same thing. More or less telling Macron, fuck off, you loser. True that. Don't touch me, loser. Frankie, buonasera, amico mio, Anfield. He warned the EU 10 years ago about the issue with the migrant flow. Trump likes him and his Hungarian friends. I like Viktor Orban. And isn't it odd the Poles are adopting similar border controls? I don't trust it. Budanov was awarded something, I don't know, it was yesterday or today, by the fucking Poles. The Polish leader. Fucking awarded Budanov. He's fucking horrible, that Budanov. He's a Nazi. He's a fucking Nazi. He's an asshole. Oh, fuck. I'm going to go right down and then I'm going to go on to a different thing. Oh, that's a good one. Well, Toscana, benvenuto. The Anfield says, Myron, are you having to seek asylum to the US because of the ANC? Anfield. Frankie's distance for Zelensky always makes me laugh. Love it, lad. Bloody Ukrainian actor playing the best part of his life. To be honest, he's getting orders of the Azov. There's a fucking big gun behind his head, every time. Have a look at that Emma. A fucking big, horrible fella. Big Azov. I think it's his foreign secretary, but he's not. He's always in fucking. Now he's been told to wear a suit. He always wore a green fucking camouflage, whatever it was. He always wore the same. Fucking horrible him. That's why he's wearing them all the time. Yeah, oh, that's right. The Polish President Duda giving this fella Budanov an award, one of the highest awards you can receive of Poland, giving it to a fucking Nazi. Think about it. You might think I'm talking through my backside. I'm not. Fucking full of Nazis. Even very recently, he said, I got the shock of my life when I went to Kiev. He said, everywhere you've got these Banderites. He said, the streets named after Bandera, the statues to him. He said, it's shocking. And he's just fucking awarded one of the highest awards to a Banderite. In the last 48 hours. What's that telling you about? Leonfield, Myra, we'll hope it never gets to that point for you. Fucking terrible. No Scotia, whether under the influence of drugs, alcohol, seemingly being removed from charge, drugs and alcohol. Why was it? Because he was drugged up. Was even think about running over its own people. Sorry, but something else is going on. PD is a government plant sent here on a mission, probably for something else, but they saw a great opportunity to use Monday and the Liverpool parade. Some statement now. Toscana, Don't get me started on Mrs. Zelensky. They shut down half of New York for her when I was there last year, as well as the shops on Fifth Avenue, says Toscana. She must have been buying a fair coat. Deb. All true, only hear the pro-Ukrainian side, says our Deb. Yes, that's all. And it's wrong. All as you hear is, and they're exaggerating. I'm being honest there. If civilians were getting killed by the Russians, I'd tell you. I'd fucking tell you. But the civilians that are killed, unfortunately, it's collateral damage, and I mean collateral damage. It's not deliberate, because they go after targets, the infrastructure of the energy system. And that's the unfortunate thing, because they will be killed, will be collateral damage. But they deliberately, the Ukrainians, Kiev goes after civilian targets. You've only got to look at Belgorod and Kursk and those prisoners. That was not prisoners, but pensioners, civilians taken to try and use as leverage during the swap. And the Ukrainians say, "Can we have the Azovs? Can we have?" They went like that. No fucking chance. They're going on trial after this for war crimes. What they're doing. Fucking horrible what they've done. I've seen them on the channels. Shocking what they've done, those Ukrainians. There's some posh shops on the 5th, 6th Scarlet. Yeah. She knows Deb's always over there buying all the gear. Frank, says you, have you seen the Ukrainian show Servants of the People that Zelensky starred? And right before he got instated, where he played becoming the I've never seen it. I won't fucking watch it. But I know about it. Edward. Raw. What do you reckon on Pepper Linda's going? Oh, I'm not going there. Sorry. Edwards, I was as bro. I'm feeling Edwards. I was bothered by that as when Arsenal supposedly challenged for Pep is desperate to appoint Pep G is desperate to appoint Pep L. Oh, he just likes saying his own name, the ball rat. Well, I know someone called him a rat for going there. The migrant flow is being done by design. The EU gave, I've said this loads of times, I've said it. Look, I'm going back a long time ago, years ago, when in 2003 I said this. There was a memorandum given out to these generals and top politicians in Washington. And one general said, I can't believe this, when he had the memorandum. He said, I can't believe this. He said, what do you want to do this for? Why have we got to go in here? And it came out. They wanted to destabilise the Middle East. So they had to take out countries. The last one to take out is now, which is Iran. They're taking everyone else out based on lies, misinformation, propaganda, you name it, all about all about Bashar Assad, all about Gaddafi, all about Saddam, all these leaders. There's loads of lies and people were lapping it up because what they wanted to do was destabilise the Middle East so that there was hordes of migrants, nowhere to go. You weren't going to go into Africa because that's the Middle East, that's Africa, North Africa, more or less. You know, Northwest Africa, the Middle East. And then they said they'll have to cross the Mediterranean and Turkey and places like that to get to Europe. They wanted to destabilise Europe, and they succeeded. And I said that during the Iraqi conflict of 2003, when they went in, based on a lie. Million Iraqis dead. Zelensky is another quake, says Coco. He's getting scripted. It's like von der Leyen, she's scripted as well. You haven't a fucking clue. Haven't a clue. Sorry. Like Trump's being told all the bad things about Russia, and he fucking believes it. He hasn't a clue how many die each day, hasn't. He just thinks that all Russians getting killed. He said, I've got to stop this. Just hasn't a clue. You should listen to Witkoff. That's why Witkoff was taken away from Ukraine and put in Iran and Israel. And all the, what's going on about Ukraine, poor Ukrainians. Look at all the bombs. And this is the other fella, fucking Trump. All this killing has to stop, all going in, this. And with all these Russian missiles, he's gone crazy. Putin's gone crazy. All these missiles, killing people. I never heard fucking one saying about children being killed in Gaza. Should be more concentrating on that. And what's you find the consequences. They couldn't even fucking beat the Houthis. Fellas on fucking bikes and flip-flops, sandals. What do they expect to fight? A major superpower. And this is what the propaganda is saying. Well, they've only got there, and they've been at it for 3 years. That's all they wanted. That area. He said, want to fucking Kiev or anything like that. But now, they'll take Odessa and cut off Ukraine. I just hope they do it sooner rather than later with Ukraine. And then it'll be the end. For Edwards, I was more annoyed at Heitinger departure. But rumour going Dirk Out may come in to replace him. Yeah, he's got his what's he call it? His license now, hasn't he? I don't know, whether he be fucking good or not. He's not had changed tech, hasn't he? I'm sure he's had a facelift, you know. Looks totally different. Looks more like Tommy Steele. Remember Tommy Steele? He was a young kid. Anyway, Dean says all these puppet leaders are all compromised. It's why they are all so alive. The minute Starmer goes against anything he's not supposed to. I'm sorry, he's not supposed to. Then his fetish for inserting male body part will be the mainstream news. Same for Macron, Zelensky, Trudeau, another one. Yes, David. Sorry. The Eternal General. Obviously, I have my fucking glasses. I don't know where they put them, you know. I just don't know. I don't know where they are. I'd love to find them or I'm fucked. Can't read messages or anything on my phone. Anyway, the Attorney General, Lord Stavina, appointed by Starmer, who was an old mate of his from his days in the CPS, was the legal advisor for the Mauritius government in Chagos Island takeover. He was also the legal counsel for the Jerry Adams defamation claim against the BBC, which has cost the TV licence payer 85 million plus costs. Brilliant. Thank you, David. I just wish look, I'm going to show you something, boys and girls. Can I just go right now? He's going. I got to go to work, my friend. Thank you for bringing me here. Take care. So you brought him. Mate, do me a favour, if you haven't gone with it, like and subscribe, please. And the as you see, lads, I didn't ignore you earlier. I think you may have missed my reply. Lovely. Step another one. Yvette Cooper, Merseyside police have questioned. Yvette Cooper and Merseyside police have questions to answer. But I think there is more chance Everton winning the Premier League to get the whole truth. Once the truth is hidden, it's very hard. I'm going to show you something here, boys. Bear with me. Now, remember when I showed this at the beginning? Remember that? And you've got to ask yourself what that. I'll tell you what that symbolises. It's travel. It's because what she's in front of, Mary, is a boat finding land and whatever. All these people. Remember the flight of Egypt? Out of the thing of bondage and all this. Well, that's that. Finding new territory, new worlds, as they say. And that's what that is up there. Look at it. Look at that. You know what I mean? So why do you think that was there? Hey, I'm going to show you something. This was from space, this. What I mean by space, it wasn't taken by a satellite or anything. It was taken by the shuttle that time. I think it was one of the last shuttles. You kill anyone, and it's a proper photo. It's been analysed, it's been this, it's been that. Have a look at this. Look at that. People say it's AI, it's artificial intelligence. No, he tested it, everything, and they didn't realise what they were doing. And they were all these films, taking the films. You see what I mean? Look at it. It's incredible. So you're not really looking up, you're actually looking down. No one can tell me that's a plane, because a plane doesn't go that high. I forget how many tailors. I thought the capsule would have been underneath, but it's not. Mark Ames. My X-Files poster, Frank. Thank you. Thank you. I like my office. You know that? And that's taken, that was in 2004, and it was taken by a fighter jet, American, from the Nimitz. The Nimitz, is it? The Nimitz, yeah. Aircraft carrier. And they were following it. And that, they even said, you know, the pilots even said, we can't even maneuver the way these are maneuvering, doing that. And then when they has it in, you know, like straightens up, that slows it down. Obviously, they slows it right down to more or less nothing, because they got it, and it just went, beep, go, like that. Beep. So when they slows it right down, you just see it going. Should have done that. Just went from there, and it just went, gone. Say like that, gone. But he slows it down, and it just went. And he couldn't keep that target thing going. How about that? Look at that. They're those triangle things. And these are genuine photos. I've got one AI. I'm sorry. I've got one of them. Show you it in a moment. But that's one of those triangles. Now this one is authentic, right? Look at this. And that was taken over Italy. Over Italy. And they were saying, we don't know what it is. And it keeps following us. Oblong, big fucking thing as well. Not a small thing, big. You were frightened. Incredible. Love this one. Do you know that was the first picture ever taken by a couple of, it was just a farmer, him and his wife, whatever they were doing in the field. And he said, get me camera. You see that then? Got the camera and took that. I think it was that one. Or one similar. And these are just ordinary people who've taken these photographs. There you go. Now that is AI. And they reckon that this was, I don't know whether it was a half a mile or a mile wide, or was it bigger? 5 miles, something mad like that. And they were the Phoenix Lights as well. Kurt Russell seen them. He was coming into land in his little plane, and he bypassed it. So I didn't know what it was. Look at that. Look at that. And these are, what I'm showing you is all authentic. Except that one there, which was AI. And them. But it just shows you the likes of them, so different types. Now the one in the top cut, these are all real, by the way. No AI. These are all different photographs taken at different times. And the one in the top corner was one of the first to be photographed. And the one in the bottom left-hand corner. Different types of UFOs. Different types. That was by a fella, Billy Meyer or something like that. And yeah, Meyer in Switzerland, Swiss. Fella. And Deb says, look, genuine, same pixels. Yeah, they are genuine. Honestly. People say, well, what did you get into why did he get into it like UFOs? Two incidents. One was I used to go for a drink, former colleague of mine, and he was the most cynical person in the world. So cynical of everything. Nice fella, but cynicism, Jesus, oozed out of his ears and his mouth. Couldn't get a conversation with him unless there was a lot of cynical stuff coming out of him. But as I said, he was very cynical. And we went for the drink, and it was a Christmas, a couple of days before Christmas Eve. And we'd finished work, a couple of days before, Christmas Eve. So we finished. And he said, "Do you fancy a drink?" I said, "Yeah." And it was freezing this night, clear blue sky, that black sky, loads of stars. And we were walking down, or walking up, because he lived by me, funny enough. Couldn't get a cab anyway. So we were walking up, and we weren't drunk or anything like that. So and he says, "Look at that." Looked up, and there was about 5 things in the sky. They were going along in formation, then stopped. Then one went up, one went down, the other stayed in line. Say like 3, for example, stayed like that. Say there was 5 of them, like 5 of them. And like 2, where they were like that. I'm sorry, like that. There was 3 left. But 2 of them, one went there and dropped down, the other one went up, if you know what I mean. So you had the likes of 2 like that. I'm sorry about that. I can't fucking do this. 2 like that and 3. My coordination's gone. And 3 like that. And that's the way it was. Like that. Like that. And then they merged again. One shot off over there, then came back. And we were watching this. We're saying nothing, look at it. And when it all of a sudden they just shot off. Just got off. Gone. Finito. So what was we saying there? What the fuck was that? That was one incident. But this is well after what I seen. I used to go to church quite a lot, just one of those people who went to church. Still say a couple of prayers every night, no matter what kind of state I'm in. And I seen something in France that it more or less, I was always skeptical of things. Like this mate of mine, but he was more cynical than I was. And what I seen along with 4 of my friends, and we were on our way to Perpignan, south of France. Not far from the Spanish border, actually. And this was in the Dordogne district. On the way down, it was something very similar to that. But it was similar. But we weren't looking up. We were looking down at it for 6 minutes, along with other people. They were in cars. A few people were in cars. Others were when I didn't even know what a camper van was until I seen them then. And a couple of caravans being pulled. They were going down as well. Not allowed to wherever they were going. And it went from down there. We estimated it was 6 minutes. From down there, vertical to up there, clear blue sky, and it was gone within 2 seconds. Psst, gone, peep, gone, right into it, just gone. Huge. I'm useless at estimate size, distance, or whatever. They reckon that it was just three quarters of a mile to a mile away. Looking down into it was a valley. That's all that I can say. Because France is very flat until you get to the Pyrenees and the Alps. So that was it. And it went. The most strange thing, well, not strange, I don't know, you can call it strange, I just don't know, that we went to the car, got into the car, and drove all the way down to Perpignan, gets out. No one said a word. No, not a word uttered in that car until we got to this. We used to always went into this bar. And he was, he's made up to see us because when we walked in, he said, monsieur, whatever. And this lad said, lad from Newcastle, actually. The other three were from Essen in Germany. Christian Carlyle. The other was a lad named Gilles Lafont, Parisian. And the other lad has one of the most unusual names, like Sabozla, if you like. When you first see the name, you go, well, how the fuck just pronounce that? And like Kavarishe, like name like him, but he was Swedish. And his name was Sven, strangely enough. And no one said a word. So this Chris lad from Newcastle, very posh, this fella. And he ordered 5 beers. Why was that? Why was that? And Zeb said, too many beers or pints. No, I don't drink much. Don't drink much, Zeb. Definitely not too many pints. And even, the lads I was with at the time, like that Chris was looking up. He was looking at us, incredible, what we witnessed. And I said, I told you about France, didn't I? And he said, yeah. I said, no, do you believe me? He said, yeah. There you go. That's why I never ever told anyone. Because, at the time, people who seen these things were deemed lunatics. That's true. Now, I'm a certified lunatic. I'm trying to say, it's weird, one. I've always been wary about the unknown and the UFOs. Why have these dudes never parked up at the White House? They flew over. They flew over. This famous footage of I don't know whether it's the 40s or 50s, where they're over the White House. That's when they made the film. What was it called? Got a great film to tell you to watch tomorrow on my film and TV review in the morning. Cracking film. Not telling you now. Brilliant. Watch it. So the White House or Beijing or Buckingham Palace to have tea with Charles and Camilla. Well, they reckon that the Pope has something about them. Did you know that? All the popes, especially with this young now being a new fucking Pope. I didn't mean to say fucking Pope. I didn't mean that. Behave yourself, you Deb. Kick your head. I love that. I really love that. And Simon says the Bible doesn't explicitly mention UFOs. The book of Isaiah, specific chapter 1 as a passenger. Yes. And he went to stop a war because he says, no, you come with us. There was a fella from NASA. Get onto this, Simon. There was a fella from NASA, Colonel, and they were at the not an air base. It was Houston, Texas. And anyway, he finished this whatever salute and getting off, and he gets home, and it's a lovely day, and he decides to go out by his pool to lie there, get sunburnt or whatever they do, the mad Americans, and no one was in. Nobody was in. Nobody. And his wife had gone out, whatever. So he goes to his little library thing, and he just puts his hand on a book, brings it out. He's lying there on his sunbed, and when he opens it, and it was a Bible. And he opened the page, and he was reading it, and he was going. So he went back in the house, brought out, paper, whatever it was, and a pencil, and he drew what he was reading. And he actually drew a spaceman, what it was, as an angel. And Ezekiel, there was trouble going on. It was miles away, about 5 days away or whatever it was, this battle. He said, you've got to stop it. He said, I can't stop it. Oh, Lord, I can't stop it. And he put him in the chariot, as he called him, and brought him, and he was there in less than an hour, or whatever the hour was there. And he stopped the battle. He said, now behave yourself, you lot. Okay, see you, Ezekiel. Yeah, and brought back. And that's what he drew. He drew spacemen. And how they described them was angels. And if anyone has ever seen Knowing, I won't tell you about it, but watch it. Watch it. Watch it right to the very end. And Ezekiel. A vision, the book of Ezekiel, specifically chapter 1, as a passenger that describes a vision of a chariot-like object and beings and wheels that some describe as a UFO. Simon, watch Knowing. What are you saying that you're calling me for, Emily? Simon. I haven't had a drink for a month, and that was only a shandy. And she goes, I meant Frank. And even the Rose laughing at the Deb. She's going to get her head kicked. Deb. What do you guys think of in the Vatican archives? Yeah, do you reckon that's just there? Yep. I don't know whether you're aware of this. I don't know whether it's Saint Bernadette. I'm quite too sure what saint. One of the girls made her way to the Vatican and gave a letter that was presented to her by Our Lady. And it cannot be opened. Because when the letter opens, it'll be the end of the world. When I was, I can't fucking read. Because I'm going outside, you see, reading. And when I wave night to Frankie from the balcony tonight, I'll see if he's swaying. You'll get your head kicked in as well. I think Frankie deserves to get the freedom of the city. Should we set up a petition? Oh, my freedom. Jeez. And the outfit. Johan, them archives are where all Frank's ex-girlfriends. Do you know when people? I'll just go through these, lads, because I've got something to say. That's a real one. Just bear with me on these people, please, boys and girls. And that's a real one. And that was actually taken in India. India, near New Delhi. When you see symbols and hieroglyphics and things, it's incredible. They found a cave. Well, I'm not saying they found a cave. Cave was there. And when they explored the cave after years, going there and going, oh, look at that, that's great. Seeing like the likes of these animals. So they went through some passage that they didn't realise was there. And when they went through, and on the walls, were those things that you're looking at now. So explain that. And that's going back to pre-man. When we were running around, there's the old saying, knuckle draggers, what we were like. But we've gone through a lot tonight. We've been angry, we've been frustrated, we've been everything. I just hope that you have enjoyed it. I really do. You've been great tonight. Sorry that I couldn't go through all the... I can't get over that yet. Ex-girlfriend. The outfit. Simon Elliott. I asked them to do a blue plaque for Frankie, and they stuck it in the city centre. Yeah, where was it for it? Blue plaque. Someone mentioned on the history show last night. It'll be good, this one. And it's about, someone just suggested, about characters and pictures. Not just pictures of characters of Liverpool. And I said, that's brilliant, that. It's a great idea. So I'm going to do a special programme on characters. I mentioned a couple last night. You've got some great characters from Liverpool. And even not from Liverpool, just like Toscana, just like Johan, if you know what I mean. But these did become adopted Scousers. I'll be talking about philanthropists. I'll be talking about scientists and engineers and people like that. I'll be talking the likes of Plinky Plink. These people who moulded Liverpool into what we are today. Great people. The likes of a lad named Adkins. Another lad. By the name Sherlock. Another lad by the name of Hope. I'll be talking about women. I won't give you the names away. But this woman I love. I can go back to Queen Carterman Dewar. Never mind Boudica. Queen Carterman Dewar. Their contemporary. During the Roman period. Far better queen than Boudica. One of my favourite people, women, females, was a lady by the name of Mary Wollstonecraft. Unbelievable person. She was the mother of Mary Shelley. She died giving birth to Mary. What a woman she was. Then 100 years later, you had the great suffrage movement. You always hear about Emmeline Pankhurst. Brilliant. One thing you don't hear of is a lady, a Liverpool lady, who I'll be talking about. I won't give you the name, but I'll mention her name. Deserved to be mentioned. Beautiful lady. What she did. And other ladies, obviously. And men. Great men. So I said, that's great, so whatever. And buildings, you might think you know about buildings and you don't. You'll go, wow, yeah, I know that, brilliant. But what's there? How it was moulded. How the architect moulded it. Frankie, be nice to Deb. I'm always nice. She's lovely. He's all right. I'm Scouse, says to Deb. Yeah. Always nice. And Anfield. Deb, exactly. I was actually thinking about Frank's next door neighbour's cat called Deb, who takes the Carlyle kicking. Poor man. It's mad that, isn't it? And we, like cats are muggy. Where did it originate from? Things like that. A1, yeah. I am sorry, overview. July 1952, numerous reports of unidentified objects were made over Washington, including sightings over the White House, the Washington Flap. Do you ever remember a film called, Michael Rennie? They went, oh, I'm going to do that. After that, made a film. Yeah, that's what Frank says as he scrapes the cat's claws out of his calf's poor body. Frank, when are you getting the fella? That's why I think he's coming on next week. That's why I wanted to give you a preview. A preview. I'm back on these fucking painkillers. I didn't want to be on them. They only left it. The cat's sitting off waiting for Frank's return from the pub. I wish. Love the Friday night conspiracy with our Frankie. Thank you, Anfield. There's a great do you know what? Do you know when you look at things, and we looked at that fella coming out with these mad, if that would have been me, I would have been running over people trying to get the fuck out of there. And when you see that, and you see the likes of you, this is what we're all about. You've got a lad there, Johan. He comes on. And the thing is, he's got respect. You've got the beautiful Toscana. And Myra, the lovely Myra. Debbie is obviously. And it's all respect that they give us. And I've said this loads of times. No matter if you've got a PhD at anything, the accent is against. The accent. Especially my accent. Oh, you can't have his accent. Yeah. And I always remember, lose that accent immediately. Never lose my accent. Frankie, I'll take it back about. Is that somebody? Lad, I told them your initials were FC, only joking, lad. You know, I love. Yeah, look, honestly, you know, it's only when people take the piss, if you know what I mean, and you know that they're not joking. And we all stick together, every one of us. After the other day, we stick. So it was Gary Rigby who mentioned Sandy. Yeah, yeah, good memory. Yeah, be talking about him as well. So you know, be good. It really will. Frank, if Ricky Tomo can get one and Sue Johnson, you deserve one, fella. No. No, I've got a paper there somewhere. And I was very proud. I wonder if it's there. Show you this. Let's see if it's here. Nope. 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 Yeah, it's somewhere there, you know, and it's an old Echo, and they were having the top Merseyside, and I was in it, photographing me, and I'm on the same page, believe it or not, as Tixie Dean, not Tixie Dean, TV Vixen, and some lady. See that? Paddy Shanahan was talking about all these people. It was in every night, you know. I didn't know it was in it until someone, because I wouldn't ever eat the Echo, and someone went like, "Hey, hello, there's you." And it was in the Echo. Still got it somewhere. Who's noticed the Yeah, there are things that no one's noticed. The fucking thing is, as well, and it really boils me about those animals. Not about the animals, don't get me wrong, you know, because those animals are up there because of trade, where we were going around the world. You see an elephant there, the animals. And don't forget that Sir John Wood designed and built it and opened its doors in 1754. And they carved them a few years later. And some pricks turn around and say, "Oh yeah, you know, it's because of the slave trade." You know, fucking hell. And that really pisses me. So the animals are there. There's other things there, you know, which are not on the town hall, but all over. I can show you. Oh, look, I've never noticed that before. Oh, even on the fucking ground. On the ground. People go, that's amazing. But it does, it pisses me off, actually. You know, when. But the animals are there simply because of trade. Trade. That's why you have the likes of Drake, you know, the wonderful. He was a pirate, Drake. Did you know that? He was a pirate. But because, like, say, like, I'm just saying this. Say, like, he got £20 worth of bounty, 20 quid. And if he gave a fiver to the realm, he wasn't a pirate because he gave something to the realm. He was what you call a privateer. There's loads of privateers. I'll be talking about a privateer from Liverpool as well. Be talking about him. This is in the thing, you know, what I'll be doing about characters. Wonderful characters. And when you mentioned Ricky Tomo, I know Ricky. I know Ricky. So yes, Deb, but there are some other things, honestly, Debbie, that are not noticed. And people walk by them. You know, I never noticed that. Even working in the same time. I didn't even know that was there. Didn't know it existed. Johan's leaving us. Harry's left, I think, now. Have a great weekend, legends. Take care, Frank, and everyone who spent their Friday evening with us. Hit the likes if you haven't already. Mille grazie, Johan. Mille grazie. And the Alfred. I ate yours just comfort, lad. I think fair. Well, I had my MRI, didn't I? So I'm waiting for the results on that. That was frightening, that. In a tube. For half an hour. Right down. Bye, Johan. Congrats on the Hong Kong Cup. See what Debbie's like. Snidey, isn't she? To Johan. Look. I noticed, Frank. Also watched all your document. Oh, go away. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Deb. And Simon said, Franco, another night draws so quickly to an end. Thank you so much for another cracking show. Brilliant. Can't thank you enough, say Simon. Thank you, Simon. I really appreciate it. And credi in te stesso, si forte. And that's the way we are, isn't it? Strength is what we need. Strength is all you need. Well, on that wonderful, beautiful Simon's note, I'm not talking about this fella again. I'm going to wait. We'll be talking about him. but I hope to see you tomorrow morning on film and TV review. And I know that you'll talk about everything else. So see you tomorrow. I'm going to give you a film to watch. It's brilliant. Take it from me. Yeah, it's been great, says them. I'll speak with you all soon, says our Debbie. Bye, Frank, and good luck with your MRI results too. Yes, thank you. Oh, cara mia Toscana. Grazie, Franco. Buonanotte a tutti. Con light to us all. Grazie. Grazie, Toscana. Ciao, Franco. God bless, says Simon. Yo, Harry still with us. Frank, just know that you have people all over the world praying for you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Johan. Thank you. I know I swear because I do get excited, and I shouldn't really. But you know what? It wasn't Oscar Wilde. It was George Bernard Shaw. He said, "What's wrong with saying fuck off?" TBS. And Oscar Wilde once said, if you can't swear, what's the point? Two great men. Now, don't forget what we were talking about from Trump to Ronald. And remember what Plato said. Remember what Plato said. Well, Jean-Jacques Rousseau first, he said, man is born free, however, he is everywhere in chains. Think about that. And when we break down the doors or the barriers and everything else of propaganda and conspiracies to make you believe, and when the truth finally comes out, Plato said, no one get onto this. No one is more hated than he who speaks the truth. Think about that. Callum. Good morning, Frank. I know he's taking the mic. Good night, Frank. Good evening, Frank. Good afternoon, Frank. Praying for your results. Oh, God, thank you. I should have them next week. Fucking like this, though. You see, I'll let you know next week why I've had this. And it's my spinal cord. Take one, my spinal cord's on its own. And the other one is my spine itself. You know, the vertebrae. The vertebrae. They've separated them. It's got me worried. So thank you for all your wonderful words, your kind words. See some of you tomorrow. And if not, see you next week on the History Show. I won't be doing a watch along tomorrow. the the final. Can't be bothered. I'd love Inter to win though. Buona fortuna, forza Italia, forza Inter. Good night, people. CL final, let's go. Forza Inter, forza Inter. Yeah. Come on, Internazionale of Milan. And the lovely Deb. Good night, Frank. Good night, Deb. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Really. Good night, all, she says as well. And everybody else. Mille grazie. Adamani. Ciao, Bella. Ciao tutti amici. Ciao tutti amici.